Another struggle, another fight that we've always been talking about has started finally in Namibia. Very, very interesting, family. We are waiting for the good news, and we've been praying and believing God that our God will come through for us. Namibia votes with the diaspora vote as Swapo faces possible defeat. This really is quite very encouraging what we are looking at happening, and especially the idea that we are seeing Namibians all over the world being able to cast their votes. And this is an embarrassment, I'm telling you, to ZANU-PF. I don't know. Whatever is happening in these countries is really bringing a lot of embarrassment to ZANU-PF and Emmerson Mnangagwa because of their arrogance and wanting to give some lame excuses as to why Zimbabweans that are in the diaspora are forbidden to vote. And yet all other countries in SADC have done it. We haven't had even a single country that has denied its own citizens that are out there from voting. So what is so special about ZANU-PF? What is so special about Zimbabwe? What is so extraordinary about the situation that we are in? Which means this is another exposure for Mnangagwa again, because it is now being seen clearly that there is some shenanigans that they are playing. There is something that they are afraid of, and that fear that they have is just gonna continue to expose them left, right, and center. President Nelson Chamisa has just celebrated what has happened in Namibia, and he says this is it. The Zimbabwe Electoral Commission, ZEC, learn and take notes. No more nonsense again. And this is NBC Digital News. They're saying Namibia votes 2024. Namibians from around the world are voting this morning in the 2024 presidential and national elections, assembly elections. More than 2,159 eligible voters are expected to vote at different Namibian embassies worldwide in the special voting exercise. Just imagine. So this is very interesting that Namibians are able to cast their votes while they are in their respective countries that they are staying in. They are simply going to their embassies and are able to cast their votes there. And everything is just done clearly, and everything is just done transparently. Let's just hope that there are not going to be any shenanigans whatsoever that could be happening later on, because this really is just a positive development indeed of what is happening around the elections in Namibia, as we are anticipating to see the downfall of Swapo. And this is yet another video. This is about a video of Namibians in Cape Town who are actually casting their votes. I'm sure you can see just by the queues there that it's quite very peaceful. People are voting, and everything is just happening exactly as expected. And this is a positive thing. This is something that we are celebrating really for Namibia. And we are just praying and hoping, like I said, that everything will just go on well and clear. And you know what? This is what brings, agreement or consensus. This is what brings, people to one place, and as Namibians to agree when the results are out, because everything will have just been done exactly by the book. But come to our own situation in Zimbabwe, we would find that there's a lot of chicanery, there's a lot of lame excuses, and some systems that are just being fondled here and there, and quite a lot of unexplained activities that done by ZEC, and when asked, they are so arrogant. Remember Priscilla Jigumba is one of the most arrogant officials, public officials, who is actually supposed to be answerable to the people of Zimbabwe when they ask why are things going like this, or what is happening here, or things like that. And she starts to be bully, she starts to disrespect the leaders of the opposition, and tells them that they have no right to tell her what to do or what to change and things like that. And that's just a sign of the whole wrong thing about our elections in Zimbabwe. And when now the results are coming out, they become disputed. And at the end of the day, Zimbabwe is plunged into chaos. And once chaos starts, then everything else fails to work. We start to see the economy not working. We see the Zim dollar also crumbling. We see ZANU-PF having a tough time to run the country. And this is just their own doing. And nobody really can blame anybody because of what we are seeing happening in the country. So it's quite a good development. And let's just continue to watch and see if the process goes through, and then the counting, of course, happens. Then, of course, the reaction of the parties involved in these elections. They are supposed to come out and all show that they are satisfied about the whole process, and everything will have been done properly and everything done according to the book. And that's very, very important. So right now, ZANU-PF is just being embarrassed because we saw Botswana also voting in their different countries. We saw Mozambicans also voting in their countries. Of course, they ended up interfering and also using that very advantage of Mozambicans who are in the diaspora, and then they started feeding their own ZANU-PF people into those polling stations. And then we also saw South Africans also voting from their different places all over the world, and they are voting, their votes counting. What is wrong with the Zimbabwean that are in the diaspora? Why is ZANU-PF afraid? Now, those are the questions that are now beginning to be asked. People of SADC and other observers generally are now beginning to see that there is something quite wrong with the way that ZANU-PF is handling, ZEC is handling the elections, which means that they know what they are doing. And I don't know, I've always been saying that we are never going to be seeing any kind of election that we have seen so far in Zimbabwe, a replica of what we have seen happening again in Zimbabwe, because this time around, it's going to be very, very difficult for ZANU-PF. I'm telling you, now that they are exposed, in the event that there are elections that are going to be coming again anytime soon, it's really not going to be easy, and not easy at all. And also the fact that SADC is changing also with more and more of the opposition parties coming into power, that already is another red flag for ZANU-PF, which is really going to show that their life is never going to be as easy as they might think, or they are not going to sail through the way that they have done in the past, especially with the support of these illegal and rogue and corrupt liberation parties, which are biting the dust one after the other. This is one thing that is making Emmerson Mnangagwa so jittery, because he's seeing that the support that he used to enjoy is now diminishing quite significantly around the SADC countries. How then is he going to survive if ever there's ever going to be another election or whatever that might happen, or maybe a resolution that may come from right within SADC to try and fix what happened on 2023, in 2023, August 2023. That would really be the beginning of the doom of Emmerson Mnangagwa. So it's interesting. Let's continue to be watching, of course, the space, and praying and believing God for what is happening in Namibia, and the outcome must come and favor us. And we'll see when George Charampa and the other ZANU-PF people who were already campaigning for Swapo, we'll see them going underground again, the same way they did in Mozambique as well as in Botswana. So let's watch the space. Very soon, I'm sure results are going to be trickling in, and we could be having very, very good news. Let's pray and hope that it's going to be very good news for the citizens of SADC. Thank you so much, family, for joining me on the show. Continue to support your platforms, both this platform and the main channel, Chatufa TV Productions. We are crossing over now to the main channel, and we shall be talking on many, many other issues. Otherwise, remain blessed till we meet again. You are blessed. Shalom.